welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast. Today, it's just me and my boy Mendez here. What's going on? Why do you guys both think that I'm such a Jew, even though I'm not Jewish?
It's the nose.
It's a nose? Is it? Is that it? Or because I went to Syracuse?
Why is Syracuse full of Jews?
Full of Jews.
Really?
Full of Jews, yeah. And my name's Joshua Aaron. That probably doesn't help. I used to trick Jewish girls into thinking that I was Jewish until they wanted to date me, and then I would, and then I'd be like, "No, sorry, I'm Catholic."
Does your bank account show it?
That I'm Jewish? No, definitely not. Definitely shows that I'm Catholic. Like,
He's donating all his money to the church.
yeah, for sure. Yours definitely shows that you're fucking Cuban. You probably still have the 12 cents that your grandfather gave you in '94.
Oh, 100%. Every penny. Every penny. I'll never forget. My grandpa would be like, look, he's like, even at the store, when they forget to give you that penny back, you ask for it. And I would literally collect every single penny.
I'm going to just start putting poop dollars all over the ground just so I can catch you one of these days. You ever been caught with one of those? We're off to a fucking great start. So. We're off to a great start here.
Why, have you been caught with one of those?
No, never. No, but I have been picking up random dollars on the ground. I've been very lately. I've been like pretty lucky with that, and I've been really afraid that one of them is going to be a poop dollar.
Could be.
I mean, it's like 4 in a row, and it hasn't been yet.
Was this in Puerto
think
Rico, or was this here?
Here, which is why I'm thinking like it's definitely a possibility that could
in the same area. Somebody's setting you up.
That's what I'm thinking, man. Someone's setting me up. Just like I'm just putting dollars out, knowing this guy's around.
I wonder how many it's going to take before it gets to that last one.
God, I hope I don't have a poop dollar. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Mendez, how's everything going with you?
I got to say, it's been interesting. Very interesting times. There's always good things, but there's always things that, can change for the good.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. I don't know how much you want to cheers to that, though.
Cheers, right?
These are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Killcliff, by the way, guys. Killcliff. And we're not
sponsored, but if you want to sponsor,
really good. But,
we'll.
Like he said, if you do want to sponsor, we'll.
Don't touch me, but touch me.
But no, look, man, overall, obviously, we got our amazing content creator, Kirsten knows. But yeah, man, things have shifted. It's been an interesting time, a lot of time of growth, realization, and moving forward. But not with my partner anymore. So just pretty much co-parenting now, and just getting settled in with my new place, getting things aligned again, getting things shifted. And I think it's for the better. I think, at the end of the day, for even both of us, I think it's just we want different things. And I think as well, just the fact that it'll be healthier overall. So that's the most important thing. He's going to move forward, right? Like in anything else in life.
Yeah, listen, you're preaching to the choir over here, a guy obviously I've talked about it on the podcast quite a bit, right? It's like, I went through a divorce. Mm-hmm. Things weren't so, now they're fine, like we're cordial, but things weren't always great. We argued a lot of fighting, not physically, thank God, but mentally and yelling and stuff. So I can be tough, but onward and upward, right? You're moving forward. You're doing what you need to do, and just, trying to stay focused. I guess that's the most important thing.
Oh, 100%. And look, like, you got to understand, it's okay that, during a time like this, if you have your moments, feeling a certain way or having that rut, but it's not okay when you let it just overtake you and knock you down. So for me, it wasn't until the other day I was like, all right, my health is slipping. This is slipping. That's enough. Get back on my feet. Start implementing these habits that I used to have before. Let's get that ass moving and just put in that work again.
Get you stop looking like a little quesita.
This guy over here.
Yeah, moving to Puerto Rico, trying to pick up on that slang a little bit. Trying to make it happen, man.
Right?
I got you're Cuban, I'm fucking Irish, and I have a better tan than you now, so.
Well, wait until I hit the pool again. Remember, I'm single now.
Yeah, true. Hit the pool, bro. I'm never going in a pool. I don't know if you know this about
whatever you want to call it.
I have one rule here in Miami, and anyone who's listening to the podcast, pretty good rule of thumb to follow if you're ever down here. Never go in the pool during a pool party.
No.
Never.
The thing is, last time he did, he had a little turd touch his back.
No. That'd be just, I'd throw up. I would never go back. No, I would not. I see people in there all the time. They're like essentially drinking. I'm like, do you realize that a girl threw up there like 30 minutes ago? And it's just filtered through. That's what you get, man. That's what you get. But listen, like you said, so, you know, obviously all this transition, all of this stuff is going through your head. And you, honestly, from like my perspective, you've been handling it, Jesus, a lot better than I did when I was going through my, you know, separation. And you have a little one, you know, so it's obviously a lot more on the line than what I went through. But how have you been able to, you know, balance it as best you can and still, you know, be able to kind of keep your focus on what you need to do?
Well, I gotta say, like, you know, at the end of the day, believe it or not, a lot of people don't even know probably till even listening to this that this is even going on, because it wouldn't be able to tell. But
we'll put his phone number in the description. Don't worry.
Text me on a community app.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where you gotta understand that. Look, at the end of the day, whoever tells you, "Oh no, I got this shit under control," when they're going through this, or nothing phases me, it's all bullshit, guys. Like, at the end of the day, you're still gonna feel it. You're gonna still have moments of thoughts run throughout your day, in your head throughout the day. You're gonna have moments where you don't want to feel like doing anything, but you gotta just ask yourself at the end of the day, what's most important, right? You gotta ask what's more important than anything. And at least I know that what's most important for me is I need to now take care of myself to the fullest, so I can show up for my little one every single day, and for all my other loved ones in my business, you know, in our business. So you have to see what you have to make priority at the end of the day overall, because great, this changed in your life, but that doesn't mean that now everything else has to take the back burner and suffer. You know, and it's just because if you really think about it, you know, if you keep yourself in that area of feeling like a victim, you know, over and over again, it's not going to do you any good. It's not. It's only going to keep you in a hole, and then everything else is going to just suffer and take the back end, and then next you know, you lose it all. Not that one thing, you lose everything. You know, so if you really just look at what's most important, you know, in your life, and realize that, hey, this is just a change, this is just something that needs to happen, I think you'll be fine. You know, and again, it's not discounting the fact that, yes, do I have moments where I'm sad, or I'm unhappy?
You look like a big crier to me. Yeah, a little bit.
We all cry, but
a little bit.
I cry. I
cry.
I don't sob.
But I cry for stupid shit like America's Got Talent. Like, that'll get me. Like, you can't ever get me with like a, you know, I come from a single parent home. Obviously, I've talked about that a lot. Like, you can't ever get me with like, oh, your dad doesn't love you. Like, that type of shit doesn't bother me at all. But like, seeing a little kid fucking get the golden buzzer because he ripped a fucking 2-minute DJ set, waterworks. Waterworks. I'm such a pussy when it comes to stuff like that. It's unbelievable.
Is it because you wish that was you? Because you love.
I definitely was a huge fucking loser in high school. Like, huge. You know what's funny too is that I get text messages and like DMs from people from high school. Now, like, when I post shit on there, like, oh yeah, I got bullied in high school. The same people who were bullying me in high school, now like, oh man, you know, like, you're showing everybody up. Like, you know, you must like feel so good because you're just like sticking a middle finger to everyone. I'm like, if you think for one fucking second that you ever cross my mind, other than maybe when like you appear on my Instagram feed, I'm like, oh wow, you have your 3rd kid already, you know, which is fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And, you know, all power to you. I'm sure you're great parents. But it's so weird to me. They're like, oh, you know, like, you know, you must feel so good that you're, like, showing everyone. It's like, I don't give a fuck about any of you when it comes to that stuff. Like, again, right, like, good times back then, I guess, if you want to call them that.
For them? Or
for them, I guess.
They're the one bullying you. I don't know.
Definitely not for me, right? But I don't know, like, you peaked. I don't. How would you handle that situation? Like, I never know. Like, I want to just be like, listen, thanks, but you know.
I'll just be like, hey, haven't heard from you in forever, but I guess thanks. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for bullying me, and now, you know, understanding that, you know, you were a dick. Like,
I don't know.
12 years later,
I never experienced bullying. So
no, you were the one. You were the one pushing kids into lockers. I never got pushed into a locker. I was too fat for that. Our lockers were too skinny. They were.
Oh my God. No, man. I don't know. I'd never been bullied before, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
No, never. You were never. Did you ever bully anyone?
Not really, man. Like, we all we got our friends and we mess with each other, but like,
but you weren't. But
bully
you got.
people
But
to
you and
actually
your friend group
bully
like
people?
never bullied anybody.
Nah.
Never. You were always like the nice, popular kid.
I love how you say the nice popular kid and the.
Well, were you
gestures.
Were you popular? I don't know. It's clear I wasn't. I'm still not
I was
popular.
likable. People always liked me. I got along with everybody. I had friends from all types of genres, football players to the.
But were you popular? Yes or
likable.
no?
I don't like using the word popular.
Why?
I don't know.
Does it trigger you?
I don't want to say like, oh man, this guy was popular, big, and it's just.
Were you one of the like best in your fucking yearbook?
Okay, well I will tell you this, and I can show it to you. I did win prom king.
Then you were popular. That or you rode the short bus, and they felt sorry for you.
You see what Josh does over here? You see what this guy does over here?
Are we allowed to say that anymore? Can you say that? Special needs? Did you have special needs?
No. Did you?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Oh my god.
They always put me in like a small classroom and wouldn't let me play with scissors.
I did take what it's called, those remedial classes. And they had some remedial. I had 2 remedial classes.
Which what did you
Math.
Yeah, 100%. You look like you would be shit at math.
100%.
Yeah,
math.
you look like you'd be shit.
And then I had
reading, arithmetic, what else?
Literature.
Yeah.
So it was math and literature. But I had honors history and I had honors science.
Right. Okay, honors science I give you credit for. The history thing I don't think does that matter if you know like
I like history, so that's why.
Okay, nerd.
So,
yeah.
But dude, remedial is garbage. Garbage.
So you were popular though. You would say you were popular. You can say it. It's okay. No one's gonna dox you because you were popular. There might be some people who There might be some people who say like, nah, he was not popular. We used to piss on him in school. But did they?
Piss on me?
Yeah.
Nobody's pissed on me unless they did it behind my back. Like, I don't know.
I mean, listen, I went to a small school though, so you got real bored real quick, right? Like I never pissed on anybody, but I'm sure some people did.
We all messed around and look, as friends, we all played pranks and messed around with each other, but we weren't.
Was there a lot of bullying in your school?
Dude, any school's gonna have bullying.
No, but was there a lot of bullying?
A lot of it.
You went to a big
school? I think a lot of people just ate shit and fucked around with each other.
You went to a big school?
No. Our class though was the biggest class in that school that they.
What does that look like?
Think about it. Our school.
Well, how big was your school?
We had 1,100 kids.
That's a big school.
That's not a big school,
bro.
But hold up. Out of the 1,100 kids, our class, our senior class, meaning starting from freshman year all the way through, our class had 600 and something kids. That's how.
So there was only 400 kids in the whole rest of the school.
Yes.
How many grades? 2?
Yes, we had multiple. They had to open up multiple different.
Why were there 600 kids in your class?
I don't know why. We were the biggest graduating class.
400 kids in the whole rest of the school.
Biggest that they've ever had. Yep, it was insane. That's what I'm saying. Our school wasn't that big. It was just that time frame that we came in.
But the 4 grades or your class was 600. Like your graduating class was 600?
Yeah, my graduating class was 600.
Out of 1,000 kids.
Out of 1,100 kids. I'm telling you, it's the truth. If you look at our class picture and look at all of them. And
did they have to? You remember those printers where like they could
up,
print it on like multiple pages? You could like wrap it like wallpaper. You remember those?
Have that.
Do you remember those though?
Yeah,
With the perforations on the sides?
Mm-hmm.
Those were fire. You could make like class banners. You ever make class banners?
I think you did.
I think
you wrapped it around your room at home.
Bro, I spent a lot of time alone as a kid. So I had a lot of time in the computer lab, in the art room.
Oh, you're an artist.
I definitely wasn't, but I definitely had a lot of time alone in there. Not playing with other kids.
Doing what?
Being a loner, dude. I got picked on. It's not in a school.
How did you cope with that?
How did I cope with that? Not well, to be honest. Not well. I mean, shit was fucking hard, man. Like, anyone who really knew me back then knew, like, I didn't have a great outlook other than if I don't get the fuck out of here the day after I graduate.
So you were living on survival mode, Pretty much.
100%.
Every day.
Every day.
It was like that. Going into class.
Yeah.
So
Every minute of every day, I was on edge.
Would you
for
change
sure.
that?
I mean, I that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I feel like now I kind of look at things like from a very like different perspective than most people. I mean, I like to joke around. I mean, you know better than anybody. I rag on you all the time. Like, but I think that that's more from like my upbringing than me being bullied. Like, you know, I guess I got picked on at home too, like by my stepdad, but that was more like fun. Like now I look back on that, I'm like, that we joke about that all the time. I just think that shit's funny now.
So do you think bully's worse now than it was before?
I think it's way
different. It's different.
I mean, let's just put it this way. I think if I had social media now, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, like if we had social media when I was a kid, I probably would have killed myself back then.
You think so?
The bullying was that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've had those thoughts before?
Not seriously, but I've definitely like talked to therapists about like, you know, what it really mattered. Like would anybody really care? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like
So
those
more
types of
saying,
thoughts. Like
if I wasn't here, would people
really care? Like would any like all the bullying would stop for sure. Like that would go away in a heartbeat. But like other than, I mean, obviously like maybe my mom would, I always thought like, well, maybe my mom would be sad, you know, but I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't think I ever like seriously thought about that, you know?
I think the problem now is just
You can't escape.
blast.
Like, so the thing, and this is what I mean by that. Like if social media was around when we were kids, I don't think I would be alive today because like now there's no escaping it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could go home and there was like, I mean, they had like instant messenger, but I wasn't really on that. You know what I mean? AIM.
AOL.
Yeah. AOL, AIM. But I wasn't cool. Like I wasn't part of the cool kids that like were all part of those chats. So like,
Or MySpace.
but that was later. That was like once we were in like middle school, like late middle school
yeah,
already, like getting into high school, right?
And then Facebook wasn't even till like the end of our.
I didn't have Facebook till I got to college.
No, I had it till like the end of my high school.
I didn't have it. You know, my college roommate was like, yeah, "Do you have Facebook?" I was like, "No." He's like,
Came out 2000.
"Who the fuck
it
are
was
you?"
08, 09.
Yeah, I mean, no, way earlier than that.
No, like when people were
In
actually,
high school.
Talking about when people were actually
When they
using
stopped letting college kids was like, 08.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they actually started using them, like high school, because we're like around 08 or 09.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Before that, it was just for college kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It was like towards my junior year of high school.
But yeah, I think I would. I think it's way tougher now because Instagram, TikTok. Watching my little sister. I mean, your brother's what, like 2 years younger than you, or
He's almost 4.
4?
3.5.
Okay, but still close enough. Like my sister's 8.5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So like
But you know
seeing
what's
that
crazy?
social media,
What's
seeing how it
crazy, though,
affected
is
her.
that
Like,
even my brother being almost 4 years apart, that little 4-year window is like a huge shift.
yeah, now imagine 8.5.
No, I know.
You know, I can't do anything with my sister.
Because look, like my brother, I think his sophomore year already got introduced to like tablets and stuff like that at school. Like they didn't use, like he went to Columbia. He went 1 year my senior year.
Bro,
to
my sister
school.
doesn't know what it's
And
like to
then-
not have an iPhone. She doesn't know. She doesn't know what it's like to have to get off the internet because someone had to use the phone.
Kids don't even know what's.
Think about that for a second.
Kids don't even know what a cursive is.
Y2. My sister was born after Y2K.
Jeez.
Like blows your mind. I mean, and I'm sure people who are like 40 who might be listening to this are like, you guys are young, and when our day we walked uphill and the snow both ways, and there was only 3 channels on the television in black and white.
And we used to study with index cards.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's fucking. Now I think.
I will tell you something. I love the age that we're at. I think anybody who's right now between 27 and 30, I think has had an experience of knowing what some of these old school more, things were, like practices, and fell into the new stuff at a good time where you kind of have an idea of both. You know what I mean?
I mean, I still think that we're super fucked compared to these kids. Like,
that we're super fucked.
we're super fucked because once they think about it. Once
like
we're
advancement wise,
10 years from now, when these 18-year-olds are our age, right? We're gonna be 40.
okay.
And
See, but here's the difference. We have continued to want to learn, what all these new tools are. Use them.
Do we though? Some
Utilize
people
them.
do.
I think so.
You and I, yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're at the age where we have the mental capacity to understand it because we were still young enough to.
but not compared to some. Bro, I had to go get a
time.
TikTok tutorial from my
But
my
still,
client's 12-year-old
but
daughter.
That's you.
Well, because do you know how to use TikTok? Like
Yeah, but I'm saying we still have.
I don't know how to use it better than she does.
But I feel like what I'm saying is I feel like we still have the mental comprehension of understanding how if we practice it, we'll get it. Where you give it to even somebody who's in their 50s, 40s now, it's just like, I give up. Like, I don't even want to figure this out. Like, we can at least figure it out still. Because we've had the experience of using Instagram. We had Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, we got kind of like in high school, towards our end of high school is when Facebook really started taking off for us. We were able to use that. And then Instagram really started when we were in college. So we were still young enough to use these tools enough to be able to understand how these future ones are going to kind of operate to a certain level. Obviously, if you're born into that shit, it's completely different. But at least we understand how it works, why it works, and how to learn it. Where I feel obviously like somebody who was already too old to even use, like in the sense of understand Facebook, is now feeling.
I mean, listen, I think
unless you're like one of these, Facebook has turned into like a 40, 50-year-old.
Listen, I think in terms of usability, we're way more fucked than those kids. In terms of understanding the impact that social media really has on your day-to-day life and your mental health, we will know far beyond what these kids. And this is
why, kids, I'm going to have the money so I can pay you guys to do it.
Bro, you got to point to both cameras. I think that they are fucked. You know, like maybe 5 years down the road, they'll start. I mean, I think we're kind of realizing now, like, what all of this, like, shock jock, like, value is really on, and how invaluable it can be in our lives, or really is in our lives. But
I think that a lot of things are getting watered down, though. I think information is getting watered down. I think, like, also, too, that...
Well, you have a lot of copycats, right? You have a lot of people who are fake.
That's the problem with a lot of the youth now, is that I feel like it's more based off, obviously, understanding these trends and how to get viral, all this stuff, but there's really not a lot of true value behind. There's a lot of stuff that's being put out there.
Well, it's just like, you know, and I've talked to you about,
you know, and I think that's a problem.
I've even talked to you like even about my own content. It's like, you know, I just feel like there's so much more that could be, you know, so much more about my personality or just anyone's personality in general. Right? It's something that I think you do a really, really good job of, right? It's like who Anthony Mendez is, you can kind of see through your content. Right. And I don't think there's enough of that. I think that there's a lot of like, okay, well, especially in fitness, right, with what we deal with. But you see it in entrepreneurship, you see it with finance, you see it with real estate, people who are in, you know, marketing or PR. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a lot of like, okay, here I am, like I'm doing cool things, but it's not, one, there's either not a lot of value brought to it, right, for the person who's consuming the content, or it just seems like, okay, you put zero thought into this and just posted it to get like 150 likes or whatever it may be, right? Not even a trend, like you literally just posted it so that you could like check a box.
You're forcing something that you just want to do so you can get the
right
views.
And then you have the trends, right, that people kind of get on where they're like, okay, everyone's doing like these.
See, but there's nothing wrong with getting on trends. It's what are you delivering with a trend?
Right.
It's like, does the trend, what you're delivering, does it make sense for what you are and what you believe in your brand, and using the trend to help you catapult that? I think that's the right way of going about it. But people are forcing stuff with these trends that doesn't necessarily represent them, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. It's interesting.
It's interesting. I just think we're living in a really interesting time where I just feel like there's a race to who's to be the biggest influencer, who's going to be the biggest viral person, who's going to, instead of being, I want to be able to just be the best version of what I want to be, right? It's being who I want to be one day and be the best at that and mastering that, you know? And then through that, I can impact and be able to, I guess, go viral in a good way, because I'm actually delivering something that's worthy, you know, that help people, impact, that drives value, that drives success. Not, hey, I got famous on a video and I'm going to get paid this much money because I got famous on a video. I don't even know what I do.
Right. Or I have this many sponsorships. Like the whole influencer thing really gets to me, but because what are you influencing?
Well, that's the thing.
What are you influencing?
That's the problem. That's what I tell people all the time, especially the young. It's like, all right, you want to be an influencer. And I'm like, what do you want to be? Like, I want to be an influencer. what do you want to be? An influencer. No. What do you want to be? What do you want to be so you can influence people with that? I think that's the first thing people need to ask themselves. Because everybody, at the end of the day, everybody is a way an influencer, whether you're a good or bad one. You have good influence, you have bad influence. People are influencing people at a higher scale, at a lower scale. Whatever it is that you do, you're still doing some kind of influential work. So it's about finding what you want to do, right? Finding that, and then understanding, okay, what do I want to do with this? Why do I want to do this? How am I gonna put this out there? And then give it my best, and then influence people like that. So that way you can now truly impact people. But if you're just like, oh, I want to be an influencer so I could just rep brands and get free stuff and get paid, well, that doesn't make sense. So you're just going to do ridiculous, dumb stuff that gets you attention so you can get money. And look, granted, I'm not bashing on you if that's you and you're able to figure out a way to make money. All to you, 100% shit. I'm trying to figure out how to make more money every single day. I'm not hating on that, on the tactics of this and that. What bothers me is that later on, you see these people, they're going through problems, they're suffering internally. You see things of depression, suicide. You see all this other crap come out later on that might not happen now, but later on it does. These people aren't really happy. It's because you're chasing something, not knowing what you're really chasing. You're just chasing something that maybe you want to give people, you want people to give you attention, or maybe you're going through stuff and you want to be seen. I don't know. Whatever it is, you might not be doing it for the right reasons. So it's about figuring out who you want to be as a person. And granted, when you're that young, you have a lot of time to experience different things, and you're going through that figuring out process. But don't force content out there that doesn't represent who you are as a person, and start with your moral values, right? Put content about what you believe in, what you support, what values you have, your belief systems. Just start with that, because at least that is about you, even if you don't know what you want to do per se, as far as a career or whatever. But start with those factors, and I think that would help.
Damn, man, I think you nailed that one on the head, and I honestly don't think I could add anything else of value compared to what you just said there. And I think that, this is probably a great nugget to wrap everything up on. Such powerful information. If you want to become, an influencer per se, or become famous, right? Or have a big, you have to have a big impact in people's lives. It's the easiest way to get famous, right? Other than maybe be on TV, is to actually just drive value.
Yeah.
And you can do that through content. There's no excuse now for anybody. If you're 18, if you're 15, if you're 20, if you're 25, if you're 30, I really think nowadays, there is zero excuse why you can't find success in your life.
Oh, 100%.
And people who are sitting here making excuses oh, well, I can't do this, or I can't, that's bullshit, right? You have your phone, you have everything that you need. Well, hopefully you have a phone. If you do have a phone, you have everything that you fucking need in order to run a successful business. You're just pure lazy.
And look, and another thing, guys, I think, Josh says the word famous, whatever you want to call it, fame or famous. But understand that with all the nice things that might come with it, there's a lot of other stuff that comes with it,
and
too.
he knows he has a blue check mark.
I'm not that famous. But look, it does come with other stuff. Understand that you will get stopped. Once you get to that level of big, you will get stopped. People will come and want to talk to you more often, and just...
We're talking about blue check mark. Blue check mark big?
No.
Okay, I just want to know, because I'm not.
Interrupt you. They want your attention. So you got to understand there's other things. Cameras following you when you get to that level. So do you want that? Do you want that?
Morgan Freeman narrating your life?
There's nothing wrong with it, though. If you're okay with it, there's nothing wrong with it. Shit. For me knowing who I am, I'd be okay with it.
I'd be fine with it. My ego would love it.
I think it's more, I just love being able to, how do I explain it? I really enjoy when people see that my work is working. And for me, that makes me happy. So when I can see it, even if it's like that, where people are coming to me, want to talk to me, I would give them my time, which obviously that would be probably a problem too, where I'd probably try to give them too much time, trying to sign stuff, trying to do this. If I get to that level one day, when I get to that level.
Bro, you're all about signing shit.
I love making people happy. For me, if man, some kid come, I'd be that person where they'll be like, Anthony, you need to get on the bus or get on this already. You're wasting too much time.
I used to sign footballs and posters when I worked for the Syracuse team. We'd come out and I'd be like, after I shagged all the bags, they'd be like, all the kids would be like, oh my God, you play for Syracuse? Like, yeah, I just signed the football.
Did you ever win a ring for anything?
Yeah, Big East championship ring and a
you have one?
pinstripe bowl ring. Yeah.
You have it? Is it nice?
I mean, I was a manager, so what do you think? No. Like, I wasn't fucking
How much was it?
Doug Marone. I don't know. I don't pawn them. Bro, it's not worth enough for me to get rid of.
Like $1,000?
Not even.
Not even?
Like,
$500?
Not even. Bro, I was a student
less than a
student manager. I wasn't even on the team.
Less than a high school ring?
Who has a high school ring worth $500 and then you play for St. Thomas
I know
Aquinas?
some. No, Kirsten knows what I'm talking about over there.
All right, well, I also didn't go to a high school with fucking Brian Urlacher or Ricky Williams. But, if I did, maybe I could have won a ring like that. But I went to a school of 300 people.
We're talking about Syracuse.
Right, but you're talking about high school rings.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is you went to Syracuse, so you would think that there would be more than.
Right, but let me repeat this again, maybe a little louder into the mic so you get it. I did not play.
Say that one more time.
One more time. I was a glorified ball boy.
Another time, please.
You're such a dick. All right, let's wrap this
Wait,
up.
but tell them the story about what the things. Tell them the stories about what people would tell you on the sideline at Rutgers.
Oh, that was the scariest thing. We already talked about that with Dave Ote, but that was the scariest thing, dude. I literally thought I was in the a scene of Goodfellas, or like The Sopranos.
Crazy.
But all right, let's wrap this up. Before we wrap things up, guys and gals, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor.fm, anywhere that you can find the Sweat It Out podcast. If you're not subscribed, if you're not downloading every episode, if you're not dropping a review and letting us know exactly what you like or don't like, hopefully you guys are liking everything. Make sure you guys do that. Be a huge support for us. We want to know that you guys are getting every last episode release and that you guys are liking what we're talking about. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, as well as dropping us a review. Yep. We would really appreciate it. It would go a long way to help support us along our journey of building out this podcast. So make sure you guys make that happen for us. Thank you again. You got anything to add before we wrap it up?
Yeah, make sure not to forget to blow a little kiss to Josh because it'll make him feel good.
Duck lips.
Make sure they're duck lips. Guys and girls.
Until next time, everybody.